So the first big opportunity that studying French gave me was the chance to study overseas. I went on an exchange program to McGill University in Montreal, Canada. I had never been overseas before, so if it wasn't for French, that first trip may not have ever happened, and that trip set off the travel bug for me.
And then another opportunity that I've had was being able to go to New Caledonia over the summer as well. Now, I never really knew that there were French-speaking tropical islands, but I couldn't believe that I had the chance to essentially go and learn French for half the day and spend the rest of it chilling on the beach. It was pretty unreal. And while I was there, I actually ended up going on New Caledonian television and winning a game show, which was pretty strange, in French, of course.
C'est nos amis les Australiens qui ont gagné ce soir, le jeu casse pas la tête. Ça va l'équipe orange? Ça va. Oui, c'est bon.
Somehow managed to stumble into another really great opportunity that I'm sure I'll never forget.
French has led to some really great opportunities for me. Not just with the friends that I've met through my course and that have become great friends, but also for the chance to travel a little bit. And I remember probably one of my fondest moments is being able to study in Paris for a couple months at the Sorbonne, doing a language intensive course. And during that time, I was living in these little hole-in-the-wall Parisian studios, getting my fresh baguettes every morning. And I remember going down to the Seine River and browsing through the bookshops and really starting to explore more of French culture in a very direct way. So that was probably one of the biggest highlights for me, and then also quite beneficial for practicing the language.
But from an opportunities perspective, I think it's pretty clear from my sort of story how useful languages can be, both in your professional development, so obviously getting jobs and moving up, but then also your personal experiences that you can have. So as a 21-year-old, having lived in London, Paris and Melbourne, it's a pretty cool thing to go through, and even despite the coronavirus pandemic, and none of this would have been possible without my languages. I'd probably still be in Melbourne living with my parents.
Learning at university as well was really great, because I find a lot of people struggle to develop a really wide sort of social net at university. And if you take a language class, like something like French, you instantly have at least 25 people that you're talking with constantly. Sometimes I was studying sociology, a lot of classes can tend to be either dead silent or just arguments. Whereas with French class, it was a lot of camaraderie straight away. You're constantly talking about yourself, you're talking about your interests, your likes, dislikes, and just chatting, basically.
I think French has let me travel to a few different places. I did exchange in France in the Alps, which was a fantastic experience, and then I also went and spent a month in Benin in West Africa, which is a fascinating place. It's actually the home of voodoo. So I visited a Python temple, I stayed with a local family and travelled around.
On a personal note, it's like open up an Alibaba cave of treasures of culture and stories and cooking, and being able to personally interact with people who have great stories.
And most amazing experience that I've had has been going on exchange to Paris in my third year at university. It was an amazing experience to be able to live there and be a local, but also be a tourist at the same time. And it was such an amazing learning experience as well, because it was difficult, and I was really scared about being in the same classroom as French-speaking people, French students, but it also gave me a really big confidence boost.
I took an exchange program to France here in Montpellier, and I studied at French university for 6 months before finding work here in the city. Since then, I went back to Australia. I've now come back to France on a permanent basis, where I look to live out the rest of my years, we'll say.
I volunteered with the French Red Cross and Caritas, where I met so many lovely and interesting people. I was invited to colleagues' houses for dinner parties, on camping trips, and could also go along to the cinema without needing to choose the films with subtitles. Living in a French-speaking island was a dream come true. I'm so lucky to have been able to have had such an experience, thanks to the fact that I chose to continue with French at high school and beyond.